Mary,
Poppins, you came back.
you seem hardly to have aged at all.
Really? One never discusses a woman's age, Michael. Would have hoped I taught you better.
Emily, what a delight this film is. I'm amazed how drawn in and overwhelmed and nostalgic it made me and others that saw it when I saw it.
Thank you.
Did you look at the original films in order to get any kind of something from young Jane to make her what she is, what you make her?
Yes, of course. The original film was something that I'd grown up watching and then watched again in preparation for this movie. I'd also watched it with my own children, who are 8 and 15, and watched it ever since they were little. So, yeah, but I ended up, I think, focusing more on the parents in the original movie than the kids, because it's hard to sort of copy mannerisms of a child and try to imagine how they would have changed into an adult. I mean, I couldn't really get my head around how to do that. And anyway, we all turn into our mothers eventually.
Isn't that the truth?
So I focused my kind of efforts in the research more on thinking about how would the grown-up child of these slightly eccentric, kind of absent parents grow up to be, you know. And Glynis Johns plays the mother so brilliantly in the first movie, and she's such an eccentric character. So it was fun imagining what it would be like to be her child.
And she'd raise a feminist, a future feminist, and social activist, which I really enjoyed. That was a great part of her.
Yeah.
The role's quite physical for you. You ride. I'm assuming you actually rode that wonky bike.
Yes,
Looked
and
terrifying.
Lin-Manuel Miranda is a genius at many things, but bicycle riding, he's not. He's not going to win a Kennedy Award for his bicycle riding, let me tell you. Yeah, it was pretty shaky.
And being up in the air, flying and floating and doing all kinds of wonderful, crazy things. And I'm just wondering, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much fun was it making this film?
Oh, it was the most fun. It was a 10, definitely. I mean, an 11. I've spent a lot of time on film sets sort of wishing my time away and wishing I was back home and missing my kids. And on this occasion, of course, I miss my kids always. But I did manage to actually notice that this was a once-in-a-lifetime thing, that I was just so lucky to be there, and I managed to kind of savor every moment. It was hard, and I mean, it would have been impossible not to, really, because, you know, surrounded by these brilliant performers that Rob Marshall had assembled, and the way that he is like Mary Poppins, Rob. He is a magical person, and he makes everything magical. And so just walking onto the set every day felt joyful. And he would play music from the original movie, and you know, he just knows how to put on a show for you as actors as you're doing the work, as well as for the audience that gets to see the final thing.
And I can't imagine what you felt like working with Dick Van Dyke and Angela Lansbury, who replaced Julie Andrews in this. But both of them are iconic characters who had great careers in the 60s in musicals.
Oh, yes. I mean, and somehow connected the movie, you know, through Dick Van Dyke to the original movie, but also through Angela, you know, and Dick to the kind of history of movies and of Disney movies and of cinema. You know, you feel that there's this film as somehow is part of the great sort of tradition of movie making, and it's like a really old-fashioned movie experience. And I think part of the reason I'm so happy to be a part of it is that millions and millions of people are going to go and see this film in a cinema, and that it should be seen in a cinema. It's a huge show, and it needs to be experienced on a big screen with, you know, no lights and just lots of people, and that's how it needs to be experienced. And it's so exciting to me that people are going to go to the cinema to see it.
And to see this rich, humanistic, low-tech film.
Yes. I know, there's no CGI, hardly, you know, everything happens in camera, including the flying, which was terrifying, but also the, you know, the parrot umbrella, his animatronics, you know, he did everything old school, and I think it really adds something to the film.
Yeah, it felt so good. It was a great film, and you're terrific. I love Jane, the way she turned out.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.